And that's a summary of the 8 years Obour spent as president of the Musician Union of Ghana. And he joins us via Skype for a conversation. And if you're doing well, Obour, let's know, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing this morning too?
Very well, thank you. And every time we get to talk, I see you wear your mask, even though you're alone. And you keep saying
it's important. We need to remind everybody that the mask wearing is the only way that we can prevent coronavirus.
Okay, at least you don't sound muffled. I can hear you well. So maybe we want to continue the conversation from where we left off on Friday. Unfortunately, we couldn't end the conversation properly. And now that you told me you are well, and let's revisit some of the things that we talked about. We talked about your health, why people constantly say that you're unwell. You clarified that. We also talked about the rumors surrounding your father's death. You spoke about that. And so let's move on from there and talk about your way now to Parliament. And I see first off that you have given out some Veronica buckets, and like every politician would do, they are customized. They have your photographs all around it.
And then I gave out some sanitizers which had the president's photograph. So you need to talk about that one.
Okay, I didn't see those ones. I saw the Veronica buckets. Thanks for letting me know. First off, why did you have to put your pictures on them?
Okay, so what it is this year is an election year for the Asante Achimsa constituency. Sometimes when you do stuff, people want to know who did these stuff. Again, I put the president's picture on the sanitizers mainly because I wanted to celebrate the president. President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has been a strong pillar in the fight against COVID-19. And so one way that we can celebrate him is to make people know, celebrate his efforts. When it comes to the Veronica buckets, I put not just my name, but I put the Christianado Foundation because they helped with the funding for it. I also put my logo, which is President Obour. So it's a family donation. It's something that myself, the family of the late, my father, Nana Osegbu Kufuor, and then the Christianado Foundation, we came together to do that joint donation. We gave 5,000 Ghana cedis to the Jaso Health Directorate. We gave 100 Veronica buckets, 5,000 nose masks, 2,000 sanitizers, and then a few other activities, a few other items like tissue, paper, and stuff like that.
So it's not to say that you just wanted to accentuate the fact that you want to become member of parliament for that constituency. So recognize this face, recognize this name. So come the day when you're to go to the polls, remember that I was once good to you.
No, nothing short of that.
But talking also about, President Obour, one of the things that became a huge conversation was when you issued a letter with the letterhead President Obour. People wanted to know in what capacity at that time, and even now that you talk about President Obour, is this president?
Okay, so President Obour, don't forget, it was a song that I released. I released that song in the year 2007. So I released a song called President Obour. I remember in 2008 when the then president of Ghana, His Excellency former President John Ajekun Kufuor, was honoring me with a state medal at the National Honors, the Order of the Voters Grand Medal. He called me President Obour. And since then, the name has come to stay, even before I became president of Musica. So people think I was called President Obour because I was president of Musica. No, I have been called President Obour since that song President Obour was released. To Abama Mio, to Abama Mio, to Abama President Obour. I don't know whether you remember that song.
That's true, I remember. I think it was with someone. Did you do it alone or you did it with someone? Was it a collaboration with someone?
I think that I had versions with other people, but the main song was alone.
Okay.
So I've been called President Obour since. It's a brand that I registered when I released that song. And so people call me President Obour not because I am president of an association or I'm president of something. In that video, I was president of the Action Youth Congress, which was, a created group just to push the agenda of peace and promote peace in that video. And so since then, I've just gotten it as a nickname. And I mean, the president, Nana Addo Dankwa, calls me President Obour. And so I don't see anybody having a problem with me being called President Obour. It's a nickname.
So it's a nickname, but you said also that you have registered that name.
Yeah, I registered that song and the title. So
okay.
Once you register it, you would have it.
Okay, because the reason I'm asking, and I wanted to be sure that you had registered the name, was how people felt offended that it was on a letterhead, not knowing where the presidency came from. But also, you seem to have gotten some love and also a nod, if that's okay to say, from the president.
I mean, I've lived the life of a very good citizen. I've not just been a spectator. So just like every president would do, when a citizen, does what is expected of him as a citizen, you tend to attract the heart of the president. I mean, not to sound boastful or anything, but since my musical days, I hope you remember, I did my road safety campaign, which was a 2-year project with the National Road Safety Commission. I didn't charge a peswa. I actually invested in that campaign. We toured over 300 lorry parks speaking the message of road safety. I used myself as an example. I used myself as a teacher, and I did a song to that effect. Besides that, I became a national tuberculosis ambassador. I didn't charge a penny from the National Tuberculosis Control Program. I did a song on tuberculosis, went around different communities to promote the government's interventions on tuberculosis. The fact that tuberculosis medication was free, the fact that when you develop symptoms, you go to hospital, you are not charged a peswa. It's something I did. I became the ambassador for Forestry Commission on climate change and REDD+, where I spoke about deforestation, afforestation. I mean, I have used my persona and my image to promote developmental projects in the country Ghana. I mean, quite recently with my Christianado Foundation, we've done several sanitation giveaways in different communities. We've organized cleanup exercises. I have lived a life of service to Ghana. And so it is not surprising that I would be endeared to the heart of the leaders of this country.
Is that also to say that you had seen this vision of going into parliament long ago and you decided to serve your way through?
I think the parliamentary vision has always been there because I've always wanted to serve. And so serving among the peaks of servitude is maybe getting into national politics, getting into national leadership, and using your abilities to help your fellow community, your fellow human being, and raising the name of Ghana and adding your own to the national development agenda.
When you say it's always been there, can you tell us exactly when you were convinced that you were going to do this?
I think in 2007, when I made a decision that young people should not just sit back and watch, but they should participate actively in development, considering the age that we are in, where technology is playing a major role in development in any area. In 2007, I made a big statement. It was published in major newspapers that some tweeted. They said I was challenging the age for people to be able to contest for presidency. But no, I was only crying out that young people should be given the opportunity to participate in the national development agenda and then in development, discourse that is going on. And to use myself as an example, in 2007, once I said that, I felt the immediate area that I am concerned is I'm a musician. So why don't I go into leadership of the Musicians Union of Ghana and prove to the world that a young person can also do it?
And that you did for 8 years. Now,
Yes.
it means also, before I come back to the Musician Union of Ghana, it means also that since you've nicknamed yourself President Obour, you're in future eyeing to become the President of Ghana. Is that so?
No. So becoming a president of a country is another level of sacrifice. Is another level. So it's not something that I can say I'm nurturing an ambition for, or I'm hoping to be. But hey, it is God that orders our steps. A time will come that God would want party A or party B to be in leadership. I just want to serve. And so don't give me too much high hopes. Let me serve in my small corner. I've served the musicians. Now I want to serve Asante Achim South, which is the community that I was raised in, the community of my birth. My parents are there. I have my family. I have my network there. And so let me use the things I have picked with all my experience, and let me see how I can quicken development in that community.
I've heard people say that Asante Achim South is cool chop for you.
No, I don't think for politics anything is cool chop. You know, in 2008, everybody believed that the NPP was going to win the seat, considering the great work that President Kufuor had done. But hey, what happened? We had second round, third round. Eventually, the NPP lost to the NDC. So there's nothing like cool chop in politics. I am not leaving any stone unturned. I'm working very, very hard. Of course, the dynamics may be in my favor because the constituency seems to be like a two-term constituency where nobody has been able to do more than 8 years. And so the fact that our sitting MP has done 8 years, the community wants a new vision. They want a new face. I mean, that will probably be the only thing that will be in my favor. And of course, the fact that the constituents also believe I have a great relationship with President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He visited my mother. When my mom passed, he also was there to support us for the funeral. So in politics, that also plays a major role. You know, so the delegates and the constituents feel it will be good to put me up as a candidate or the representative for the community.
But quickly before I let you go, though you might have the nod of all the people that matter in your constituency, the people you serve, not all of them, at least we've seen a documentary that says otherwise, but some of them say, and I can mention names, D Black, Kwakesi says, you are not fit to become member of parliament because you've not been able to serve them as musicians properly and thoroughly. Does this not dent the image that you've created for yourself?
Oh, thank you, Ms. G. I've always been waiting for an opportunity to answer this question on your platform. I mean, when you lead, you cannot satisfy everybody. If everybody was satisfied, I would have been a bad leader. Because leadership is about making very tough decisions that would favor some people, that would not favor some people. So it is good that I have some people thinking that I didn't satisfy the level they felt I should reach as musical president. But in the same vein, I'm happy you said there are people who also saw the good that we did. And so they are able to testify that Obour has been, if not the best, one of the best presidents that music has had. That is how it's supposed to be. I cannot appeal to everybody. The good book, the Bible even says, in tree, or say nipa nyina do wa bie. When all people hail you, be sorry for yourself because it means you are doing everything wrong. And so it is good that we have some people criticizing my leadership, and then we have some people praising the leadership. What is good is I served Musica a full 4-year term. The delegates felt I had done a great job. They voted me again. And then I served another full 4-year term. What it means is I have done my job.
Now, one last thing before I let you go. On the same network that you're on, a few weeks ago, we had D Black speaking to us all the way from, I think, New Jersey. And he mentioned the fact that you had lied to him in the past when that 2 million Ghana cedis was given by the then president, J.E. Mills. And you told him that the money was to build structures. And that's why he went with you. And you apologized to him years on for lying to him because the money was used for research.
No, so I didn't lie to him. I think either you guys have quoted him out of context, or he had also quoted me out of context. It is true we had discussions with D Black and several other musicians, Kwadwo Samini, so many musicians. We had a plan. We wanted to do ABCD when we went to Ministry of Finance with our proposal. But you heard it. When the budget was read, the Ministry of Finance specifically told us what they are giving us money to do. And so even though we had brilliant ideas that we want to build a new office for Musica, we want to build a theater, when government gave the 2 million Ghana cedi subvention, government said, use this money to conduct a comprehensive study for the music sector so that we know how much the music sector contributes to government. And then secondly, use this money to organize Ghana Music Fair. That is what government said we should use the money for. Was it that he wasn't explained to as what the directives were? Because it sounded as years later you had to apologize to him. Yeah, because when I spoke to him, he said he didn't know. And I was like, oh, this is information that it was read in the budget. Everybody got this information. So and he felt, oh, I should have informed him personally that when government gave the money, these were the directives. And I said, oh, then I'm sorry. Maybe I should have, been more proactive and informed every musician that, played a role to the agenda, But that's where the apology was. It's not anything beyond that. So it's not for lying. So that's why I said, maybe you guys are quoting him out of context. Now, I'm told we have to go, but you haven't had the chance to talk about the visa racketeering comments by Jeduble Ambule. I've not heard you say anything. He mentioned you with some others, but you haven't said anything. Yeah. I mean, I've decided not to respond to everything that every musician is saying. Else, I would not lead. I would constantly be on radio defending myself. If you are Musica president, you would facilitate for musicians to get visas. And so it's okay for people to think whatever they think. A musician will come to you with his band. He will say, these are my band members. As president, your responsibility is for that musician to get his visas so that he can ply his trade. So you would facilitate. If it comes out that some of the musicians in that musician's list were not band members, what can you do about it? You can't. You just have to do your job as Musica president. I'm sure you feel that you excelled as Musica president. What percentage will you give yourself if you're asked to score yourself? Now, Ms. I think you should watch my documentary. I've watched it, but I want you to tell me what percentage you are giving yourself. I have to go, sorry, but tell me. Unfortunately, he had to go. We didn't get the percentage. I don't know if the documentary we've seen is anything to go by for a lot of people, but that's the former president of the Musician Union of Ghana, Bai Sosai Kufuor, known as Obour, and